Hello everybody, welcome back to another Borderlands 2 unofficial community patch video. And today I'm going to be trying something kind of weird, definitely a little unique, and that is going to be a turret focused Axton build, and that's not exactly unheard of, but I'm really going to try to buff it to its utmost potential, and I felt like with the UCP, the turret can, and turret or turrets, depending on how you spec, can actually put out some really respectable damage. So before we get into anything, it's important to clarify a few things. First of all, the UCP buffs the turret fire rate by a flat 20%. Pretty nice. Furthermore, all of the turrets, well, sorry, the turret itself scales better. So as the game goes on, it scales like an AI. It'll deal better damage. It's not necessarily like it's getting more powerful, but it's just dealing more reasonable damage based on the state of the game. Whereas in the normal game, I don't think the turret quite scales properly, so it's more so used as aggro control. It's just meant to distract the enemy, not really do that much damage. It can do okay damage, but it's more so for aggro control, whereas in the UCP, it can actually put out respectable damage because it scales properly. So those are the two most important things to note. So you can definitely try this build on vanilla, but I think you're going to get some mixed results. It might be really underwhelming. And it honestly might be really underwhelming on the UCP. I just kind of spontaneously thought of this idea and I was like, you know what, I want to try it. So that's what I'm going to do. All right, moving on. Let's get into the gear. Slagga, just our slagging option. Um, And then this is definitely a weird one, the little Eevee, and that is mainly because I want to show off the turrets as much as possible. So this is gonna, for those of you that don't know, the little Eevee special effect is that it reduces cooldown rate when you use it and deal damage. So that's why we're using it. I just want the turrets to be able to shine as much as possible, and I believe this weapon will allow it to do so. I'm gonna be kind of taking a back seat. Then I just have the Omen and Creamer for the hell of it. Like I said, I'm going to try not to get too involved and just let the turret do its thing. Antagonist is just a good shield. And then this is interesting. A lot of you are probably confused why I wouldn't use a soldier or an engineer comm. So there's a few reasons for that. First of all, if I was going to use an alternative to the gunner, it would be the soldier. The engineer's cooldown rate is pretty much identical to the soldier, which is honestly a bit of a design flaw. Like this is a bit stupid. It should have cooldown rate plus like turret damage, turret fire rate, something. Like this comm is kind of lame, not gonna lie. Um, and the skills that it buffs aren't really significantly different from the soldier. Like it's not gonna help the turret more. I mean they both give sentry, and that's one of the most important. So to me, it's not really gonna make a difference. Like Battlefront, Resourceful, and Impact Enabled don't help the turret. So I didn't see a point. And the heavy gunner, at first glance, there doesn't seem to be any merit to taking this because it doesn't buff any turret skills. But that team fire rate plus 34% actually does apply to turrets, interestingly enough. So that is pretty much why we're taking it, because I don't think the soldier engineer particularly buffed the turret enough to merit using it. Like I would use the soldier if I had to make an alternative choice, but I don't really think it's especially good with the turret. Like I wish this comp boosted sentry, because then this would be like the premier option. It would not only boost fire rate, but it would boost the duration. But I wanted to give this a shot. The soldier may end up being better simply because of the duration that sentry gives, but and the cooldown rate, of course. But we'll see. I kind of just want to mess around with the fire rate and see how high we can push it, and see if it really affects the damage. And then we're just running a corrosive bone. I'm probably going to run through Washburn Refinery, and the cooldown rate's going to help, so that's why. And then just a slag grenade to help out the turrets and heal myself. I don't want to run like a damaging grenade. I want to kind of support the turrets instead of them support me. So I've already spec'd in a little bit because I was doing some testing. And of course we want sentry in a turret build. And then this is where things get interesting. So laser sight in the UCP gets a 25% fire rate bonus, whereas in vanilla it's just the accuracy. Now, first of all, to dispel some rumors about the skill, the accuracy does actually work. People seem to think that it lowers like the turret's tracking or makes it slower to react. That's not true. That is false on the vanilla and the UCP. It doesn't change that at all. It still tracks like normal. and that applies to flying enemies too. It'll react in the same way. And the accuracy does actually make an impact. Like it's only 25% though, is what you guys have to understand. Like it's think of it as like you get 25% accuracy on your gun. Like that's not that significant. It's decent, but not insane. Like it will have an impact, but it doesn't mean it's going to be like pinpoint accurate. And then the fire rate is really what we're looking for here. We're just kind of stacking the fire rate with the gunner comm, the UCP buff, and then laser sight. So yeah, that's kind of the idea. Other than that, it's going to be a pretty normal Axton spec, and we'll go ahead and get into that as well. So we'll grab Scorched Earth, again, buffing up the turrets. Important to note that on the vanilla game, Scorched Earth actually does have a hidden damage penalty to the turret. I still think it's worth it. I think it adds an overall DPS increase to the turret or turrets. But yeah, that is something to keep in mind. Same thing with Double Up. There's a hidden damage penalty. That is removed in the UCP. I don't know why it exists at all. I think it's completely unnecessary, and I'm glad the UCP gets rid of it. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Okay, now we'll pretty much do the standard. Willing is a great shield skill. Grab Onslaught because it's a great kill skill. And then I think we'll just grab Ready. Big boost to our DPS. We will still be doing some damage and whatnot, and we might come back to this tree as well. It makes it tricky, like running laser sight, because we kind of miss out on Able and Grenadier now. But that's okay. We'll be playing a little bit more passive and using us like we'll have healing opportunities, so I think it's fine. Go ahead and move over here. Take expertise. I like it more than impact. I think weapon swap speed and aim speed, movement speed is just awesome. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. And then we'll take Overlord, or not Overlord, Overload, since our comm boosts it, and it's really not a bad skill. Even in the vanilla game, it only boosts assault rifle ammo, whereas in UCP it boosts everything, which makes it much more generally applicable and better. It's a good skill either way though. And then we'll go ahead and grab Metal Storm because that is also boosted. And I think 9 is plenty. We'll see how our points come. Obviously, putting 10 in this would not be a bad thing either, but we'll see. I want to see how our point distribution ends up, or how it ends up looking like. Then we also get Steady boosted. We'll go ahead and take it. I'm trying to minimize our points here. I want to just get down to Do or Die, and Longbow is of course important as well. So these are just, Do or Die, Steady, and Battlefront are all substantial damage buffs. So we want them. And I'll probably come back. I just want to make sure that we get Gemini. So for now, we're going to leave it like this. Okay, take Preparation. Just a good shield skill and gives us some HP. Pressure, reload speed, and shield recharge delay when we're low health. Very nice. Phalanx shield, I want to make sure those turrets are out there as much as possible. And the Phalanx shield in the UCP, well, you'll notice immediately that it gives shield capacity, but also the Phalanx shield scales with the OP levels as well, so it will last longer. Very good. Okay, now we can either take Forbearance or Quick Charge. I think a lot of this is sort of preference. I like both, but we'll see how we are for points. I think I'll actually go Forbearance, and then we definitely want the cooldown rate for this build. I like Maglock, allows more variation with our turrets and can put them in cool spots and to divert attention away from us. And then we could max Grit. I think Grit's a pretty good skill, but I think I'd rather max Forbearance and grab a few points in a Quick Charge in this scenario. Grit can be unreliable for sure. It is good, and I use it in other builds, but it can be hit or miss, no doubt. Okay. Yeah, I think Quick Charge is better value for lower points too, so I like that aspect of it. Okay, 6 points. So let's go ahead and finish up Metal Storm. Let's finish up Battlefront. These are big DPS increases. And then we could definitely go Able or Grenadier if you guys wanted to do that on your own. Go ahead. I think we will just do, I think Steady, because it's a rather large DPS increase. So yeah, I'm pretty cool with that. I like that. And I think this is what we'll roll with, and I'm interested to see how this goes. So I think we'll go ahead and transition it on over to the gameplay. Hey guys, so actually before we switch it over to the gameplay, I decided to come back and record this because I thought it would be a good idea to show you the rising interval of the fire rate with the turrets. I feel like it'd be a lot easier to visualize it like this. I think it was kind of hard to see just how stark of a difference the fire rate makes with all the skills and buffs. So let's start with nothing. Take off the heavy gunner comm and just use the UCP flat 20% fire rate buff. Throw it out. Okay, so there it is. Okay, you get the idea. Now we'll keep that off. And then we'll add the soldier comm for now so we can boost the cooldown rate. And then we'll do, I don't want to do sentry yet because that's going to alter the perception of the fire rate. We'll do laser sight. So now with another 25% on top of the flat 20% given by the UCP. So let's take a look at that. Once it is ready. Okay, so good bit faster. All right, you get the idea. Gaining some pretty rapid fire rate buffs there. All right, and then we can go ahead and throw sentry on top of that. We'll take off the soldier because that impacts sentry a little bit too much. Yeah. Yep, okay. And this doesn't increase the fire rate, but when you have a higher fire rate with a higher burst that sentry gives, you have a higher DPS because you'll get through that burst quicker onto another one. Yeah, so a longer burst with a higher fire rate, and then it goes on to the next one. So there's less of a pause in between it. Just more overall bullets are being shot, and of course sentry increases the duration, so it is a DPS boost in that regard as well. Okay, so we have pretty much one more major fire rate buff. Well, I guess two, but we'll do Gemini. Go ahead and spec out. Let's see. 30% fire rate and plus 3 shots fired per burst. These are some nice UCP buffs that we get to even further increase the fire rate. So let's go ahead and see it. And also, guys, if you actually want to use this build in practicality, and you're mobbing with it, you don't actually really need resourceful, but I'm like gonna fully focus on using the turrets, so I just want them up as much as possible. I'm trying to showcase them as much as possible, but resourceful may not be necessary for sure. Okay, let's see the Gemini buff. Getting pretty fast at this point, and of course we have two now, so we've doubled our DPS. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Okay. So our last major change or alteration that we can make to the turret in terms of its fire rate or DPS, we have Onslaught. We do want Scorched Earth, but it makes it hard to see the fire rate and stuff, so I'll leave it off for now. Double Up doesn't, so we'll go ahead and throw on the Heavy Gunner. Double Up is like an indirect increase to fire rate because it gives you a second gun. It doesn't necessarily increase the fire rate, you just have two guns shooting. So with the Heavy Gunner and Double Up, let's check out the fire rate now. Quite fast. Honestly, really, really fast at this point. I mean, it feels like Axton with Metal Storm. So it's quite nice. I mean, can put out some pretty respectable damage. And of course, you can throw the rockets on top, and that really helps increase the damage. So yeah, I just wanted to showcase that really quickly, just so you guys have a better idea of the increase that we're getting there. And The soldier is of course a viable alternative because it does buff sentry, so you'll get more duration but less fire rate. But yeah, overall we are getting a 34% fire rate here, a 20% fire rate buff from the base UCP, and then we get another 25% here. So what are we at? We're at 54 plus 25, 79% fire rate, and then we get 30% here, so about 110% fire rate bonus. And of course, double up is a indirect boost to fire rate. So yeah, we're well over 100% fire rate, which is a lot. Like, let's see, what is max metal storm? Yeah, it's actually like max metal storm permanently, no kill skill required. So that's pretty cool. I mean, 10 points metal storm, not just max. So that's pretty impressive. It's definitely not a joke. Just finishing out the spec, but yeah, just wanted to show you guys that before we moved it over to the gameplay so you'd have an easier way to visualize it. I'll probably leave in the link in the description if you guys just want to skip over this part, but I thought it might be pretty important to include to help you guys understand the gravity of the change, I guess you could say. All right, so now we will actually move it on over to the gameplay. All right, we're back with the gameplay. I decided to just go to opportunity because why not? Run down through here one more time. And we'll go ahead and get into it. I'm very curious how this is going to perform. I'll try to let the turrets do as much as possible without interfering so we have a good idea of how much they're really doing. Alright, let's try to... Alright, I mean, pretty good start. Try to slag for them. Not bad. The fire rate definitely seems noticeable to me. It would be awesome if they had sentry. Their burst would be substantial. Not bad at all, though. Not bad at all. Oh, that exploder kind of messed it up, but... Alright. Try to get some kills with the little EV. Oh wait, I thought I picked up the turret. Whoops. Alright, well that doesn't help me then. This thing does not do the best damage. Yeah, this might be a bit of a struggle to get kills with it. Damn it, that was like the worst timing. Alright. Of course, he's unslagged. Alright, they are back up. Doing pretty well. Like, the fire rate is definitely pretty high. That's good. DPS is pretty solid. Not bad. You could definitely kind of, I mean, I'm not even doing anything. Keep that in mind. Like, the turrets are doing a substantial amount of damage without, I'm literally doing nothing. I'm just watching. So, that's pretty good. Alright. Oh man, I hate when it does that. I don't think that turret's gonna... Yeah, that sucks. I messed that one up. I'm gonna go ahead and pick them up so we can reset them into a better position. Try to finish them off with a little EV if that's possible. God, it's such a bad weapon. Alright, where did he go? There we go. Alright, we are getting our cooldown back at least. Alright, I might have to help with the constructor. Yeah, this is a little bit of a hectic area. It's probably not going to do as well, but constructors are a bit tanky anyway. But the heavy gunner comm is really not a bad comm for your DPS either. So if you want to be a little bit more active than I am, it'll reward you. Alright, there we go. Oh man. Alright, there we go. Screw that. Try to get some kills with this weapon while we have the buffs, but man, it is a struggle. I'll try to chill for a second. They're almost back up. Alright, here we go. Throw one on the statue, maybe. Serious? Where did it go? I have no idea. But it's doing pretty well. Oh, it went over there? Excuse me? Okay. Okay. I can't say I know what happened there. Alright, there we go. Alright. So far, pretty good. Oh, hello, Jimmy. Let's see how it does against him. Completely annihilated. Nice. What did he drop? Oh! Well, isn't that just kind? Thank you, Jimmy. For those of you that don't know, his loot pool is actually different in the UCP. It gives him the loot pool of a loot midget. I think actually a better loot midget, like technically. I think he has the potential to drop more, which is really cool because he's super rare. Doesn't make sense that he would have bad loot. Alright. Let's let them go back to work. Try to slag. Nice. Yeah, man, this fire rate's pretty substantial. They're working them. And of course the damage scaling is really really helpful. Man, I would really love this if I could just get Sentry to 10 with this build. Oh, that'd be great. We could try it with the Soldier comm. We'll obviously lose out on fire rate, but I think we'll have better overall DPS because of the duration. Yeah, we'll see. I might try that. I mean, I'm pretty impressed so far. And this weapon is hard to get kills with. I think I'm gonna let him get me down. Oh, nope, that didn't work. Damn it. Keep forgetting I have the creamer. I could just use that, but alright, that's okay. Oh, really? Is that a bad angle? There he goes. Not bad. Okay. Oh my god. Well, we're not killing him with the little Eevee, I can tell you that much. I'll just try to wait for the turrets. These are kind of good benchmarks anyway, they're pretty tanky. Alright, let's see what happens. Nice. I mean, yeah, when they can just focus a target together, everything just dies. So, alright. It's clear with the metal gunner that the DPS is very high, or the heavy gunner. And the fire rate's pretty freaking ridiculous. So we'll try the soldier now and see if Sentry is a little bit better because it will increase the burst. We're missing out on a few value points here. This is not important. The Sentry, more duration and more shots fired per burst in conjunction with laser sight could end up being slightly better, or just it probably is overall better for an Axton build because it's less reliant on the turret. So, alright, let's see how it goes. Probably shouldn't separate them so much like that, but that's okay. Doing pretty well. Alright, they're both in a bit of an odd position. And of course we do get the cooldown rate from the soldier, which is really good. Yeah, I mean, it's already up. Obviously I didn't do the full duration, but it's obviously faster. What the fuck is this guy doing? Yeah, so I think I don't know. I mean, I need to get both of the turrets right next to each other again and see how fast they can shred an enemy. That's really the best test. Okay. Alright, let's see if I can get some... Yeah, okay, I should be able to place them closer together here. Alright, let's just... I'm not going to worry too much about the positioning. Nice. Okay, so the damage seems similar with the soldier. I think Sentry kind of makes up for that. Okay, they're gonna struggle with the power loader. Yeah, I'm gonna have to help them. Okay, I'll let them do their thing. Pretty good, pretty good. Still, fire rate's not as high, but they do have more rounds per burst, so there's kind of a trade-off. Yeah, okay. I mean, honestly, it seems like both are fine. The soldier is obviously far more well-rounded. Um, so I think for a turret-focused build, it still might be the go-to, but honestly, it's quite satisfying using this heavy gunner and the turret fire rate just being off the chain. And plus your own fire rate is off the chain because it buffs Metal Storm on top of just giving a flat fire rate bonus. So let's see it again. Pretty nice. Definitely pretty nice. Oh, that's gonna hurt the turrets. He needs to get out of their bubble. Yeah, there we go. Wow, through the shield. Alright, need to relocate them. I need to heal is what I need to do. Not hit myself with a grenade, hopefully. Okay, there's an ultimate up there. That'd be a great test. Oh boy. Alright, I might swap out the little EV because this is probably going to be the last little instance. I won't need the cooldown anymore. Alright, let's get her in there. Damn it. There we go. Alright, there's that guy has a really strong gun. He's just going to shred the turrets. Get out of here. Oh, jeez. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I think it would have taken out that badass loader pretty fast. He's still doing okay. Got him down pretty low. They weren't focusing their fire like they normally would. That Angelic Guard had like a double sniper combo that just completely annihilated the turret. So that was a little unfortunate for the test. But it still did quite a bit of damage. So yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with the results here. I don't think we need to do too much more. Honestly, I would say this performed similar to what I expected. I mean, I didn't really know what to expect, but I figured it would be at least decent. I didn't think this would be like a trash way to play Axton, and it's definitely not. Like, I'm glad that the UCP makes the turrets more viable and where you can actually foster a play style around the turrets, and you can play more of a supporting role. Like, it definitely works. I did not feel like my damage was neutered in any way, shape, or form, especially with the heavy gunner. Like, this buffs some good skills that buff your damage quite substantially anyway. So yeah, like, it still felt pretty good to use. No question about that. And if you're on the UCP, I'd recommend you give it a try. It's pretty fun. I didn't even notice I was OP8. It's better. Cool. But yeah, it's fun. It's cool. I know some people really like Axton's turrets, and this is definitely a build that can bring out the most of the turrets, but it is a little bit more restricted to UCP, unfortunately. But yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed the video and have a good one.